Hey guys, I wanted to put together a video for you guys to show you how I did the lining of this bag. I've always kind of wanted to do a video, I haven't yet, so I thought this was a good excuse. Alright, so I'll show you. This is one of the cargo duffels I made already. This one's for my daughter. I'm kind of making everybody one because I'm kind of on a bag making spree right now. This one, I did a lot of changes to it. I made it wider. I added some pockets. I have not put snaps on it yet. I do know how to do it now though, so those will be happening very soon. A lot of you guys wanted to know how I put my lining in the bag. So a lot of people have tutorials out there on how to make the lining. I didn't come across any where they were actually sewn right into the bag. I kind of had an aha moment as I was putting it together, and I thought, you know what, I think this will work. And of course, the first time I tried it, I did do it wrong. I did it backwards, but I ripped it out and put it back in. It's really not that hard. So it's when you construct the bag, it's going to be attached on the seam here. All right, so I will walk you through how to do that on my son's Star Wars bag. There you go. First of all, to make the lining, it's pretty simple. I followed a tutorial, which I'll link up to. It's basically the exact same as the bag itself. So you cut all the same pieces and you put it together the exact same way too. But it's kind of fun if you add. So I added some pockets, which I showed how to do this pocket recently. So you can add pockets. And then on this side, this one's for my son, I put a divided, like, open pocket right there too. So you have the lining, which looks like the bag would look. So the first thing you want to line up, so put it together like you would normally. I did the bottom already, so I did the bottom first of my front panel, and then I'm going to do the top, and that's where you're going to attach the lining. So line up, everything has to be marked center, so you're lining up your center marks. And I am using these clippies, because they're so, I'm using soft and stable also, so they're really, really thick. So this side is going to go, so again you have center markings, and just line those up with all of your other center markings. Okay. And then you're going to stitch, so you're going to stitch the same way. Probably need one more clip right there. So you're going to stitch from corner to corner, and then your lining is going to be stitched right in, and then I'll show you the next side of it after I run this through my machine. Okay, so I sewed that one edge in. So this is kind of what you're working with. It gets a little bulky after you start going, but it's worth fighting for. Okay, and then, all right, so the next step would be to do the back panel. Just let me grab that. So the back panel, go down, and then we do the same thing. So you will pin in. I'm going to start with the bottom because the lining does not go on the bottom, so I feel like it's a little easier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pin this and then stitch that through my machine, and then I'll show you again how to do the lining on that side. Okay guys, so we have the bottom or the back panel sewed in on the bottom, and then so next will be the top. I'm going to flip that down, and you're going to line up your centers again, and then so then you do the same thing for the lining. So I don't know if you can kind of start to see like what's actually happening here. So take that, again, take this edge, so this is where the zipper is. So take that edge, and then you're going to line up again. So you're going to have your back, your middle gusset part, and then the lining. So line all of those up, pockets hanging all over, which is kind of fun. You could add pockets all over this thing if you want to, and I kind of tried to. Okay, so I'm going to pin this or clip it all And then, so pin again, so you'll have the edge. So you see how those edges, they really just line right up. So I'll finish pinning this. I'll run it through my machine. And so I'm going to stitch this side, and then I'm going to go ahead and also do the edge pieces and then like the sides, and then I'll come back and show you what you do. All right, so my bag is sewn together, and as you can see, the lining gets like caught up on top. And you were supposed to leave your bag unzipped, and I didn't. So let me try to get that open. All right, so when the zipper's open, okay, so now this is kind of like how, I've only made a couple pouches, but this is weird, but I feel like you're like birthing a pouch. You have to like flip it inside out. So it's kind of what we're doing here. I never thought I'd be working with like these kind of fabrics. I really don't like them, but this is for my son, and I do like him, so I made him a Star Wars bag, which is a surprise, but I figured it'd be fun for our summer travels. Okay, and then you'll just take time to shape it and everything, but as you can see, we now have a lined bag. And so it's stitched in right at the top, which is awesome because then it's not sagging down. It's like totally secure right here. And ideally, you know, he can use these flaps and zippers with no problem. So then the last step would be just to take this here and pin it in place. And you can either do this by hand, kind of like you would bind a quilt, or just top stitch like along the top part here, which is probably the way I'll do it because I feel like it's more secure and it's quick. It just gets a little tricky working on the edges with your machine. Okay. Is that not cute or what? So fun. So I hope that helped you guys if you want to make your own linings. It's really not hard. This is the first time I've made a lining like this, and really I've just made a couple of these bags and it went together no problem. So.